we have to speak about it in the context of the African continental free trade because that's the buzz of the moment. We have to look at it in terms of what opportunities does it bring and what are the challenges that we still have to face, no matter the African continental free trade being there. So opportunities, yes, it makes the market, African market, a bigger market. So instead of being segmented as it used to be, we have a global market. So you can now export from South Africa to Nigeria, to Ghana, to DRC without having to pay export duties. And we know how much those duties are important because when you go to Kenya, you go to Nigeria, consumers always complain about the high duty that makes products very expensive. We can afford a bottle of wine here for 60 rand, but when the same bottle of wine gets to Nigeria, it costs 200 rand. So it becomes a luxury. But now with the African free trade area being in place, it means that people can easily get access to those products at a reasonable price because there won't be any more custom duties. And also, in terms of investors, investment attraction, the African free trade area is very important because now investors that were a bit reluctant to invest in Africa because they see the market as a segmented market or as a smaller market will now be attracted because it's going to be a huge market. If I now, as an investor, want to put up a factory to make shoes, I'm not going to be content of only the market that I'm in because it will mean that I set up a business in South Africa or in Ghana to make shoes, but I can distribute those shoes in the whole continent without having to worry too much about import duties. It means that those shoes will be accessible at affordable cost everywhere in the continent. So it's a very good attraction for investors. And also smaller countries like Namibia, where sometimes investors see it as a small country, small market, small size, they now have to see it as just part of the continent. So it really doesn't matter where you set up business. And there will be a lot of competition, in African countries to set up very conducive investment environment. So which is good because now it's going to push leaders to polish the investment environment because now people are not going to look at, oh, Nigeria is very big, so I need to go there. Or Namibia is too small, I can't go there. They're going to look at where are they feeling welcome because it doesn't matter now where I am. So that's where it's very important, where the African free trade area is going to be very important in terms of attracting investment. Now, talking about challenges will still be there. What I was talking about was the ideal situation, but we know that in reality, there will still be a lot of issues. The main issue is the infrastructure. For business to be conducted the way we hope African free trade will operate, there need to be infrastructure in place. The port needs to be more faster. The road needs to be there. The infrastructure to store product need to be there. And that's a big challenge that Africa still faces. And also leadership, good faith of certain countries. You remember that import duties are one of the main aspects for countries to get cash in their coffers. So if you start importing product duty free, it means it's a big gap that's going to be in the finances. So I suspect that many countries will sign the duty free agreement, but then they will make sure that there are other certificates or other procedures or processes that are going to be in place to recoup some money. So we still need to see how that's going to work because in Africa, when you export a product, you don't just pay duties, but there's so many other things that you have to pay. And sometimes duties are not even the main issue of export. So we need to look at those. So we shouldn't be too over optimistic. We still have to face, to see how some other issues are going to be in place in order for the free trade area to be fully functional.